Hello everyone, hope you're fine. Welcome to DJSoft Videos. Today we're looking at the Rane 72 Mark II. So it's the next evolution of the 72 unit. There is some upgrades from the previous model. We will see during this video, but let's talk about a quick part for the evolutions. First, you will have Mark IV faders and crossfader. You had a Mark III, so it will be more flexible, more, I don't know, I'm not a scratcher, but I'm not a turntablist, but it's better, of course. And you have, it's very important, you have now a tension parameter directly in the rotation of this little tension knob. So you can easily set the tension quickly to one DJ to another DJ if you it's not inside the mixer. So first this evolution here. Second evolution, you have directly on the back of the mixer. It's a physical evolution. I can't do myself on my my Rane MP 2014. Is that you can now access to DVS from the aux RCA in the back of the mixer. Before you, in the 72 and the Rane MP 2014, for example, you had to put your face, for example, on the phono line, on the line, and you had to take, if you wanted to have some DVS and normal records, normal vinyl records, you had to put your turntable on a preamp or on little sound card with the through option and go directly on the aux input. Now you can access to the parameter of the mixer, go to the deck you want, for example here deck 2, and you can choose from phono CD to phono line to aux. So I choose to put direct on aux to show you how it works, because on the right I will be in DVS and on the left I will be in HID with 12 Mark II. So second evolution, another evolution is very great. You can access to set your parameter button directly to some option. It's pretty cool because you can access here its parameter setup. You see you have normal, so you will do for example in roll you will do you see I can choose the length of my bit for the roll, for example 1/4 to 32, or I can choose 1/8 to 16, for example. It's just an example, but if I push sync, I will have first for a roll the same thing. You see I can jump between two settings, but if I am on odd cue, for example, I will have sync. Look, I can choose sync directly from the mixer and shift not shift, the parameter on the left will sync off the parameter. I can choose to silent cue. It's pretty cool. I can make my music like that, silent cue, or not if I want, and I can put instant double. It's pretty cool. You see, if I make this on the screen, I touch this like that, move, and I have instant double. So we will see after with silent cue. I will put silent cue because I really like this function. With the FX, it's pretty cool. So let's go to the beginning of the menu. I didn't tell you, but of course, the Rane 72 Mark II works like the 72 with Serato DJ. It will unlock, or because it's a certified mixer for Serato, it will unlock Serato and the DVS option of Serato. So you don't need to buy something. You have just to push the records, the DVS timecode records directly on your turntables. You have in the box the DVS timecode record, so you don't have to buy them. And it will unlock too the pitch and time option if you want to have master tempo, a great time stretch when you reduce or increase the tempo, or if you need flip mode, for example, because you can access to the flip mode option. You will have the mic 1, mic 2 parameter settings. You will have crossfader and fader, crossfader tension, fader and crossfader curve, the reverse mode, a foot switch if you need for the deck swap or the FX, I think, and the output in the jack 3.5 and 6 quarter jack for your headphone output. And on the back you will have your 2 mic inputs. It's cool because it's a combo jack XLR, and you can switch to line if you need. Pretty cool. You have all your inputs, phono line aux with phono line here, your ground screw if you need for your turntable, session in, session out, booth out for the secondary output, main output, master with XLR, 2 USB port if you want to record your 12 or something else, and 2 USB port for your computers, for you and your friend if you want. And you can share 2 Serato libraries. It's pretty cool. So for the browse control, you can browse with this little encoder here. If you push back, you will go to the playlist. Back another time, you will go to the tracks. And when I have my tracks I want, I have just to push here like that. I can make an instant double when I choose to choose, of course, the instant double directly on the parameter button, like I said, or I can choose to push the same track directly on the deck 2. And when it's done, look, it's pretty cool. It's irritate from, I think, Numark, because it's the same house, Numark, mkII, Denon, Rane. You can access to playlist just with the push, you see? I just push the button, I just touch the button, not a push, just a touch, and I have my playlist. I can scroll like that, or I can go to my playlist like that with the touch screen. Directly on the screen, I can move some parameter. I can take master tempo, time stretch or not if I want, the minute and seconds if I want this or this. With the shift button, I can access to the key of the track. I can key lock, key sync if I want, all those keys. After, I can push sync if I want, or unsync, for example. I can make a lot of things. And at the end, if I go directly here, I can zoom here directly with the pinch of my my finger. So it's pretty cool. So let's move like this, for example, and let's go to my track. When it's played, I can when I browse and load it, I can play it. So let's go to the mixer part. I have my gain or trim control. Of course, you have to select the source. If I am on USB A, USB B, like you saw in the connections, you have 2 USB ports, so you can have 2 Serato libraries with 2 computers, phono line or aux, and it's the DVS. Like I said, I can put on aux. Equalization, equalizer. You have high, mid, low. You can access to great settings in the mixer part. You can access to the tone X crossover. You can have 150 and 6K kilohertz. So if I touch this, and you see, you can have less or more cutting on the high part, and low part is the same. Let's go here. After you will have a filter. The filter here, it's a full kill filter. It's pretty cool. You can access to the filter parameter, the resonance for the deck 1 here, sorry, deck 2, and the sampler. If you need to use the sampler directly on the sampler part, you can access to sampler. We will see on the deck 1 and deck 2 or on master. You can, you see, high pass and low pass. You can choose if you want a full cut or if you want to cut differently. So I prefer full cut. I really like this. The Pfl section, the Q section, you can listen to deck 1, deck 2. You see it's not a little crossfader like the Rane 70. It's like the 72. You can access to the Pfl here, the Q control or the master main control. And you have your volume directly here. And you can split your headphone. And after the faders and crossfader part. So you can access to the curve of each one. You can access to the reverse, the hamster switch for each one. So you can go to a really smooth transition like that, or directly cut. So cut on the bottom when you are normal, or cut on the top if you choose reverse. And it's the same for the crossfader. You cut on the left for the right part, and if you put reverse, you cut on the right. It's normal, you know that. And you have the tension. So if you are very soft, you are like this, you see, very free crossfader. If you want to choose the harder parameter, you will have, you see, it's very hard. It's like a Freebox, for example. Let's put on 3. And you have, of course, the cutting directly on the parameter cutting adjust here. So you can access here, you see, the cutting of the crossfader if you want. Okay, so the mixer part is pretty at the end. Let's see other level controls. So you have your sampler level with a filter, and you can access to the FX onboard FX for the sampler. You can access to a mic section. You have 2 mic. The first one is with the level, EQ, low, high, a dog control like a chokeover, and an echo. You have the echo on the front. The second part has just level, on off level, high low pass, high low EQ, and it's not with the echo part, but it's not a problem. You have, of course, it's a hip hop mixer, so you have a session in with a Q control, a session out. If you want to mix with if you want to chain 2, 3, or 4 mixers. And no, you have the main output here. You listen to this main output, and the booth output, I listen to it in my speaker. And let's see the FX. So the FX part, let's show the Serato part. The FX part will have 2 parts. You have the Serato part. For each deck, it's the same. You have 1, 2, 3. You can access to one or all 3 FX in the same time. You have the Flex FX. It's an onboard FX. You can access to the screen of the FX with this button. You can set a lot of things for the onboard FX. You can access, you see, like that, to different parameter like that. You can access to another parameter when you go to the menu. You will see Flex FX. You can access, you have a long list, you see, of FX, but you can choose if you want to show gate, for example, phaser, etc. So you can choose just 3, 4, or 5 favorite effects, and after you can access here. You just to push and turn. You see, I have just 4 or 5 effects, so I can't make mistakes when I turn my button. But it's important, you have to push when you have the effects selected. If you push here, you will select the serrato part. But if you push here, you will have this part. So be careful when you push. After, you can access to this sort of the level for this FX, the beat here of the FX. You can access to the beat of Serato FX2. You can access to the volume here, etc., etc. So when you start with a track, for example, this one, you access here, or version echo, etc., etc. You can chain 2 effects with this one, for example, flanger and echo here. But you can just make the flanger from Serato. You can access to another cool feature, is that you can chain 2 effects, choose 2 effects with this board here. You can choose everything, even sampler if you want, and when you go like that, you can push just this one. You can, for example, if I want to have an echo or a deck echo, I have just to push this. I have my echo, but I can push here, and I have just my duck echo. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. I didn't make the relation, but I will change to see if I can have both. I don't know. Let's see if I put reverb. I can have both. I didn't notice that when I test the mixer, but I can have both, so it's pretty cool. And after, which is very cool, the last moment for the FX is that you can also make the FX, for example, echo, like that, not with faders, but with the instant cue, no, not a silent cue. Because I made this parameter for a silent cue, so it's pretty cool. And I think it's done for the FX. Of course, you can put FX on the sampler, and voila. And let's go to the pad section. So you have a lot of functions. You have I don't want to make a mistake. I think it's 15 FX, because you have the 5 first, after 5 on the bottom, and after 5 with shift button on the middle. So Q or odd Q. You can access to odd cues, allow you to put some point directly on your track, and you can erase them with shift button. After auto loop, look at the screen. In each section you can have a recall of the function of the length, for example. So auto loop, you will have for example 1 bit or 2 bit or 4 bit auto loop. You can access to you can record your loop after with the manual loop. You see, if you go like that, you have manual loop. So I can put, for example, 8-bit, manual loop, and exit. So when I go to manual loop, I have this one, and I can erase it. After roll, it's a little loop, but the track still play underneath. I will put this with another track, this one, and here. So it's pretty cool with just an acapella or something like that. Sampler allow you to make your own samples directly on Serato. I will show you the part here. But which is pretty cool is that, like everybody on Serato know, is that you can put directly your track, and if you have hot cues, you will have the choice to choose the hot cue you want. You see, if I put, for example, I will show you, I put some hot cues randomly, like that. Here, and here, and here, and here. And I put my track directly on the sampler part. I can choose the cue I want. So for the example, I will choose the hot cue 3. And I can sync and put in a loop if I want, and I will sync not this track here, this track here. And so I can push, for example, a duck echo. But it's a sample, so I can't choose. You see, I can't choose the silent cue. But this button allow me. You see, it's not silent cue because here I can put silent cue with the hot cue mode. But here for sampler, it will be the bank. I can choose my bank A, B, C, etc. After slicer, yes, let's see with this part. It's pretty cool. The same hot cue, so it will allow you to make a little loop, 8-bit loop on the track, and the next 8-bit loop, etc. And after you can repeat. But you can repeat every. And you can decrease and increase the length. Etc. It's pretty cool when you have the right track to use with this. And it's done for the 5 first. After you have pitch play on the bottom, manual loop, pad FX, fader FX, and transport. So you have to push twice. You see, first is hot cue or cue hot cue. Second, pitch play. So pitch play allow you to choose first with the shift button the hot cue you want to use. This one, I have only one hot cue, and after you can repeat with a different tone this hot cue. So with the track. Etc. After manual loop, you can access to loop 1, loop 2, loop 3, loop 4, and you can set a manual loop in, out, on, off, reloop. We will see after. You have another manual loop allow you to access to the loop 5, 6, 7, and 8. After pad effects is pretty great. You have 4 effects, which are vinyl break, backspin, gate, echo. We will see with this track with the melody like that, and no pad effects, and you have the length, the size directly on the bottom. So let's choose the first one. So more you go to the right, more you have a big length. After backspin, after gate, and echo. It's like a duck echo. When you push it, you have no music. And you can access to 2 different, I think, like that. Pretty cool. After fader effects, it will be like if you do this or like that. I think it's better with the acapella. Let's see this. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And at the end, you have the transport. So you can have a band, minus band plus, pitch minus, the master tempo, sync, and cue and play. You see, if I put my track on internal, I can make play, cue, play. Yeah. I can reduce my pitch, increase my pitch. I have sync mode and master tempo here. And at the end, you have a third option with shift button, allow you to access to a user pad first. So user pad allow you to put what you want, quantize, sleep mode, everything you don't have on the mixer. MIDI mode, you can MIDI map directly with the push on MIDI here and select the function you want. You have the second manual loop with loop 5, 6, 7, 8. The bottom is the same, in, out, on, off, and reloop. You have a user free. You have the access of the flip mode, and you have the slicer loop. It's the same like slicer, the simple slicer, but you are in the same 8-bit loop. You are not in the next 8-bit and the next 8-bit. You stay on this 8-bit loop, but you can increase the repetition direct on the pad. It's the same thing. pretty the end of the video for the Rane 72 Mark II. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to ask under this video in the comment, or by mail leo@tjsov.fr. If you put your questions directly on the bottom of the video under, ask questions about this product and not another product, please. If you have a question about another product, write it directly under this product, not this one, please. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next content. Take care of yourself and all your loved ones. Thank you, and see you next content. Bye bye.